I'm just trying to decide if I'm comfortable even talking about that.
This one's wife. Is Harry actually Lili? Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor. Could it be that Harry is Lili? What are you talking about, H.G.? I hear some of you ask. Are you suggesting that Harry has embarked on some course of cross-dressing? Is this as a consequence of his attendance at freak-off parties involving P. Diddy? Well, no, I'm not referencing that. I'm examining further information that has been provided to me, which casts doubt on the provenance of certain materials that purport to be photographic evidence of Lili. I have explained previously the suggestion that Lili is actually an invention and therefore may not exist. I have also suggested, as a consequence of work undertaken by a viewer, that photographic evidence of her attendance at a 4th of July parade might not actually be credible evidence at all. As mentioned, there are those that believe that this one's wife gave birth to Archie and Lilibet, and that the children are just kept away from the public eye in order to protect them. There are others who believe that the children do exist, that this one's wife has not given birth to them, and they are kept out of the public eye. And then there are others who believe that they simply do not exist. She didn't give birth to anybody, and the reason that they're kept out of the public eye is because they don't exist. And the few occasions where they have appeared, it isn't actually Lilibet and Archie, and instead it's suggested that they are either children who belong to other people who've been passed off as hers, or that there's been a fabrication of photographs to make it seem like there is a daughter. You will have formed your own view in respect of which view you subscribe to. Naturally, to suggest that there are no children at all does present a problem, because at some point they're going to get older and people will be wondering, where on earth are they? Why are they still never seen when they are adults? That does tend to go against the suggestion that the children simply don't exist. What does have more credibility is to suggest that actually this one's wife did not give birth to them. She needs to make it seem as if she did for reasons of the line of succession, and also linked to her own pride as being the mother, which is part of her narcissism. But the absence of explanations surrounding the birth supports the fact that she didn't give birth to them, because after all, most people will talk about their birth experience because it's highly personal, and of course a narcissist loves nothing more than talking about themselves, particularly this one's wife, who's always eager to share with us her apparent experiences. Soap dish advert, anybody? Yet she's curiously quiet when it comes to the birth experience of the children. Whichever camp you belong into, there are certainly questions that remain unanswered. And another one that has been thrown forward suggests again that there has been a concoction in relation to the existence of Lili, that the photograph that has been utilised for her isn't actually of a child at all, but comes from somewhere else. To what am I referring? Well, first of all, have a look at this photograph. It's a picture of Diana, Princess of Wales, with William and Harry when they were young boys. The person that has undertaken the investigative work has formed the view that this image may well have been used to create Lilibet. They point out that if you look at Harry's eyes and mouth shape, they closely resemble the details in the analysis image of Lili, just in an edited form. Accordingly, the person undertaking this investigative work decided it would be interesting to see if this exact image could have been used to create Lilibet's face. What result would come out? They decided that they would create two images, one in colour and one in black and white. In both images, Harry's face as a young boy was cut out and rotated in the same direction as Lily's, pulling the face in a way that gave the cheeks the same fullness as Lilibet's. In this way, you could see that there is a comparison of the two. Now, what does this produce by way of result in terms of the colour photographs and a black and white comparison? The July the 4th picture of Lilibet compared with utilising a picture of Harry. Take a look at this. There is evidently a resemblance. Now, one explanation for that resemblance is, well, it would be, it's his daughter. And therefore, because he is her father, unsurprisingly, a child looks like one of the parents. And that's why she looks like a young Harry. So there is an entirely appropriate explanation. That seems logical. However, the person undertaking the investigative work points out that she only resembles him in a few specific photos, namely 2 of them. In the others, she bears a resemblance to Stasi Schroeder's daughter, as explained elsewhere, and thus there appears to be differing individuals in the photographs, that the one that has allegedly been created for the 4th of July has used a young Harry, whereas the other photographs allegedly involve Stasi Schroeder's daughter. The investigative individual points out also that it's worth noting Harry's position in the photo where he's standing with Diana. It's very similar to Lilibet's position with the raised arm, and if you placed a pinwheel in his hand, it resembles Lilibet's hand holding a pinwheel. There's also light on Harry's hair, and it's queried, is this the same lighting effect that appears on Lilibet's forehead, creating an illusory unevenness? Thus, there's the comparison. It's either the case that she simply looks like a young Harry because she's his daughter, and there's nothing more to it than that. Or do you believe that there are discrepancies, both in terms of this photograph and the child that is seen on a handful of occasions that appears to be different? Some instances looking like Stacey Schroeder's daughter, and in other instances looking more like a young Harry. I leave it up to you to make a determination about this. As ever, I'm putting in front of you the evidence. You can make your own minds up. Do you think this is further evidence of photo manipulation and that it's been done utilising an old photograph of Harry? Or do you think it's simply the case that it's a legitimate photograph and it's unsurprising that she looks like a photograph of young Harry because she is his daughter? Let me know your thoughts about that. Of course, as I've explained, the narcissist may well engage in photo manipulation for the purposes of maintaining a particular image, which assists with the pursuit of the prime aims. It doesn't mean that it's always going to happen, but it does mean that there's a greater possibility of it occurring because of the nature of that person being a narcissist. What do you think? Legitimate photograph showing a distinct similarity which supports the fact that actually the child does exist because, lo and behold, she looks like her dad? Or do you think there's some chicanery? Let me know your thoughts in the comments section. I'm HG Tudor. Thank you for listening.